Hi, it's Kassy. Today we are going to make something out of the brand new released die from Eileen with Sizzix, and this one is called the mini book. It's super cute and tiny and so adorable, and I'm going to, of course, use it in a slightly different way than this. All right, so I love to use it the way it's intended, but I also love to take things and try to do something different with it. So that's what we're going to do today. We've got some fun new products here from Sizzix that I'm going to introduce you to. I got a lot going on my table, as you can see here, so let's get to it. So this is the main part of our project. We will be using the new mini die from Eileen. Amazing, I love it. The main part of this mini book, look at how tiny it is. It's so cute. Okay, I cut this out of mat board, and I'm going to give you some tips on how to do that if you're using the Big Shot Switch Plus, which I'm using here today. So I'll give you tips on how to do that. And let's get that out of the way. And then Sizzix has this new paper out called Revealz, R-E-V-E-A-L-Z, Sandable cardstock. So I'm really excited to share this with you. Super fun to use, and I'll show you what's going on there. The colors in here are gorgeous. Really fun, vibrant colors to play with. You know I love bright colors, so this is a great palette for me to work with. I'm going to put these off to the side, but just know they come in two different sizes. There is the A4 size and the A6 size. So A4, for those of us in the US, is 8 1/4 inches by 11 3/4 inches. And the A6 size is 4 1/8 inches by 5 7/8 inches. So there you have two different sizes for your crafty needs, and I'm going to show you both of them today. I think they're both really useful depending on what you're doing and making. The other new product from Eileen that I'm using today, this is from her new release, is a 3D embossing folder, but it's huge. It's A5 size. So this is the standard size. This is her keys. I know it's hard to see because they're dark. Oh, here we go. The print on the front here. But this is her keys embossing folder, and so if you have that one, or it's about the size of my hand, it's a pretty good size. Look at this baby. Holy moly, look at how much bigger it is. I'm so excited to use this. It's going to cover more area. You get to create more with it. I'm so excited, and this is such a beautiful pattern. It is this beautiful lace pattern. I'm going to hold this up close so you can see, and of course we'll see how it looks on that paper. This one is called Lace. Very easy. Love it. Okay, so we're going to use all of these things. I've got some sentiments from Sizzix here. We're just going to play. I like to have a general idea of what I'm doing and then get into it and create sort of on the fly. It really allows for more fun, organic things to happen, for me at least. So here's some different Revealz color paper that we'll be using. That is for sure. I have already cut the mini book out, but if I show you the die here, I kept all this out because I want to talk to you about this for a minute. This is the die, so it's a standard size, which is really nice. The die is here, and then there are two extra little pieces which are right here. There's like a book plate, and then, or actually she used it as a handle, as you can see there in the picture. Super adorable. And then I guess this would be more of a book plate, but you could use them either. You could use either of them for whatever you like. I love that she includes extra little bits to use all the space and to let you play with it a little bit more in different ways. So this is the actual die. All right, I'm going to just bring it into the screen here so you can see it, and I have things everywhere. So let's just move it out of the way. So mine is pretty well loved. It's got a little stain on the top. I don't care. It is the Sizzix. This is the Cherry Blossom one from scrapbook.com. But I love pink, so I had to have the pink one. So, but it works the same as all the other colors. It comes in a few different colors. If you haven't used this machine before, it is the Big Shot Switch Plus. One really cool thing, it has a little door here. I don't have anything in here right now, but you can store scissors and pokey tools and little supplies in here that maybe you would use with your cutting machine. But it's really strong and it's nice. It's electronic. It's easy to use. The thing that I want to show you here today, though, is that when you're using Eileen's dies that make journals that have like creases in the middle. So if we look at this die here, I've already folded it and I was playing with it, but see how it has these fold lines or creases here, scoring lines in the middle, and then cut lines on the outside. If you just run this through with your scoreboard mat board, here, let me just show you, with this mat board here, and you just run it through like the normal plate combination is the bottom clear plate, which mine is loved, well loved, then it's supposed to be the die, then the material you're going to cut out, and then the top cutting plate, okay? And that's your sandwich. But if you're cutting any of these steel rule dies that have scoring lines or crease lines in the middle, you want to do something a little bit different, okay? And Eileen gave me this tip directly, so it's coming from source, and she's the pro, so I tried it and it worked great. So I have this felt here, and as you can see, it cut it out. But here's what I did, okay? I used, so I have to change my plate combination a little bit. So instead of that bottom clear plate, I used this A plate, the Big Shot Switch Plus Adapter A. Okay, this is my bottom plate. Then I did the die, okay, the steel rule die. Then I put the felt on. Okay, and it's already cut, obviously, already, but you can see here. Okay, so I just want to show you the combination because this really is important. It makes a big difference. So we've got the A plate, the die, felt, my cutting material, which is the mat board, and then the top clear plate. And I ran it through like this, and it didn't cut my score lines. It just scored them, which is what you want, okay? So, great tip. I love it. It worked perfectly, and I will do that every time now. It's because these electronic machines are have a bit more pressure than the hand crank ones. If you're using the regular Big Shot hand crank, you don't have to worry about putting in another material in between. It should work just fine, okay? And that's how Eileen uses hers, and it works for her every time. But if you are using an electronic machine, I would use this plate combination instead. It works perfectly and really makes a big difference. So again, it's plate A, then the die, then felt, then your mat board, then the top clear cutting plate. So make sure to like this video and save it so that you can remember if you need to come back and watch this part again or write it down or whatever, but don't forget, that's how you do it. It will work every time and you'll be so much happier with your project, okay? So I just want to make sure to call that out. It's super important. Okay, now the really cool part about this paper, it's called Revealz paper because it has a different color core than the top, okay, the top and the back. So when you sand it, you will get another color popping through. And Sizzix has come out with these really great sanding blocks. You get them in packs of 2 here. So let's just open this up. All brand new, very exciting. So you get 2 really nice sanding blocks, and there's sanding paper on all 4 sides, so you can use it for a long time. All right, and it's really comfortable. It fits in your hand nicely. It's easy to hold on to and grip. So I'm just going to rub this over the top of my my cardstock here. And this is going to bring out that slightly different core color and really helps to bring out that texture even more, as if it needed to come out more. I mean, this is just absolutely gorgeous. Oh my goodness, look at how fun this is. Look at that. Look at how much more texture, if that's even possible, has come out with this beautiful sanding technique. Oh, I absolutely love it. It's so gorgeous. Look at the difference. Really, really outstanding. So I'm going to do the same thing to this one. There we go. 2 pieces sanded. Absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. Okay, let's do the same thing to our awesome keys here. All right, look at that. Look at the sanding on there on that darker color with the lighter color core. it just really brings that texture out. So we're going to start building our little booklet here. And the way that I'm using this differently, so this is meant to be, this is a mini book. So you, if I show you the picture again of the packaging, you have just a mini book. It's got a cute little handle. But I was thinking it would be really fun to use it as like a sort of an elegant spine for a bigger book. Okay, so what I'm going to do first, I'm going to lay this flat. And then I'm going to take the agave Sizzix paint, because when I put this on here, I'm going to have to kind of cut this up and put each piece on here. And what is going to happen is you're going to see white through the cracks, and I don't really want that. I want it to be more of a subtle transition. So I'm just going to take some of this agave paint, and I'm going to put it right on my mat board. Okay, on both sides here. This paint is so creamy and very well pigmented, so and gives you really great coverage. So I'm just painting the whole thing. Okay, I'm getting the edges. I don't really want any white showing, because that bluish color, that teal, is a really nice dark color, and I don't want the white overpowering it. I'm going to use my Sizzix heat tool. Did you know that it has 2 settings? It has a high speed and a low speed, so that's really nice depending on what you're going to use it for. I would use the high speed probably mostly for thermal embossing, and maybe the low speed for more things like this, like you know, drying paint and pastes and things like that. Okay, this is nice and dry now. So now I'm going to pull this apart and start to put it all together. Okay, so I'm going to use my Express Glue from Sizzix. Works really, really well. It's called Express Glue for a reason. It dries really fast and it holds really, really well. All right, so I'm just going to put it around the edges, just a tiny bit in the middle. You don't need a lot. And what I like to do is put my piece down and kind of wiggle it a little bit. Actually, I think I want more right on the edge of the paper. I might just put it even on the paper. You can put it on the paper or on the board, whatever way works best for you. There's no wrong way to do this. But I would say make sure that the ink, or excuse me, the glue goes right to the edge. Okay, so you don't have any little flaps sticking out. Okay, so then you got just a quick little minute to kind of wiggle it and get it where you want it. And then I use my palm to just kind of stick it down. It's already looking so great. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, and then I'm going to do the back piece. Same way, but put some glue in the middle. And maybe I'll just flip this over and put a little bit of glue right along the edge of the paper. Okay, very good. And then stick it down. You got a really short wiggle room, amount of wiggle room, and then you're down. So just make sure it's all lined up the way you want it. And I like to press with my hand. It's fantastic. So pretty. Okay, so let's get this spine. Now my spine ripped a little when I was sanding it, but I'm going to glue it on anyway, so I'm not real worried about it. And I am going to separate it because I think it'll move better, and it's not going to tear later if you just do each piece separately. Look at that. So cool. Now this could be your book. Like, it's meant to be this tiny little adorable mini book, okay? But we're going to do something a little bit different, so let's keep going. Now we're going to glue these pieces into the front, for the front and back cover. So I'm going to put this one in the front. I really like that stripe down the middle there, so I'm just sort of deciding how things are going to go. Man, I got a lot of texture going on here, don't I? It's so pretty though, I can't help it. So I am going to use my Express Glue again, and I'm actually going to put it on the inside of this this main piece, making sure I get all the way to the edge, all the way around, and then just a little bit in the middle. All right, very good. And then let's figure out what way I want it to go. This really can go any kind of way because the pattern is just gorgeous any way you look at it. I want to make sure this all lines up evenly, so pardon me while I do this. and then I will show you. So I'm making sure that this crease lines up with the binding, and then that the top and bottom all line up. And then I'm just going to press, flip it over even, press, make sure it's stuck really well, and then you can see here, this is going to be the front of our little journal. How cute is this? Oh, I love it. I can't wait to fill it. Yeah, just gonna glue this on just like I did the other side. And sometimes I worry about using wet glue for projects just because, like, oh, I'm gonna have to wait for it to dry for so long, and it's goopy and messy. But I'm telling you, this glue dries super fast. It's super sticky, and but at the same time, you do have a little bit of wiggle room if you need to move stuff around. You know, and it's great for construction projects like books and things like this. So I'm just going to make sure this is pressed really, really well. Okay, so now I want to do a little bit of decorating. This is just so darling. I can't stop looking at it. Okay, so I think I want this to just kind of go right up here, just like as an extra decoration. I'm going to put some little flowers on it. Okay, so it's just going to stay there. It's never going to move. So I'm just going to put some glue here on both sides so it sticks in here like this. I think it's just a fun little extra bit of flair and embellishment. Okay, and that's adorable. So now let's just put some flowers on here. This yellow is just adding a nice pop of brightness to the front of this cover, and the pink is sort of grounding it a little bit more because the pink on the cover. It's just really cute. Oops. Okay, let's put those petals up. There we go. I'm touching them too much. I have to let them dry. Okay, there we go. I've got some cute little jewels here. So I'm just going to get a few of these yellow ones and put them in this tray so I don't have to deal with them on the table, picking them up later, the excess. And then I've got my handy tool kit here from Sizzix, which, let me put this lid on. All right, which I absolutely love. It's got all my tools in it. I could not live without this thing. It's so great. So I'm going to get the jewelry picker out here, and it's already ready to go. I use this one a lot, so I like to keep it handy. And actually, I need to put a little dot of glue down on the front of these little flowers so they can get a little bit of bling. Well, how fun is that? So I'm just picking it up and setting it down. And the glue is kind of seeping through, but I'm going to wait a second and let it start to dry, and then I'm just going to pick up the excess and you won't even know it was there. It will be just fine. Front, I have this set of sentiment stamps. There's 24 stamps in this set. It's called Good Vibes 3, and I use it so often. I am going to pick Do What Makes You Happy. So I've just got a block here just so I can have it be nice and straight. I'm just going to stamp this onto another piece of cardstock so I can just stick it on the front. I'm going to use VersaFine Clair and Warm Breeze just to sort of stick with the flow here. I could do black letters, but I think I'm going to try this and see how it looks. I use black a lot, and sometimes it's fun to just mix it up and use a color. So let's give it a whirl. All right, that looks pretty good to me. I'm just going to cut it out here. All right, going to get my express glue back out. So here is my completed project. I'm so excited for you to get to play with these new items. So again, just to recap, we made this mini little art book or journal or scrapbook or whatever you want it to be out of the new Eileen Hall and Sizzix mini book die and her very new, very large lace embossing folder. So excited about this. I can't wait to use it in a million more projects and many other wonderful Sizzix art supplies. I hope that you found some inspiration today, and if you want to learn more about Sizzix, you can visit Sizzix.com. Please also consider liking and subscribing to my videos so you don't miss future videos, and I hope you have a wonderful day.